a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the Wall of Wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
And we are live. Welcome to this edition of Wealthy Wednesday. I mean, we had an incredible backstage conversation. Today is going to be so fun. I'm telling you, I woke up just on fire this morning. I woke up laughing. I must have had a really funny dream. I don't really remember my dream last night, but I have been laughing all morning. Today is going to be wonderful. I just am so excited for our guest speaker today. So if you are a woman, you know a woman, you love a woman, I invite you to invite the women you know to today's show. Please invite somebody. Let's get a lot of women in here. I'm telling you, this is going to teach you so much about yourself, about the women in your life. I am so excited. And I don't usually do this, but I'm going to read verbatim her bio. I'm telling you, this is so amazing. So Oksana is a fire muse and unconventional coach. Welcome to a world where you as a woman shape your own reality. Our mission, 1 million women to be awoken into the richness of their inner world, where women leave the void and emptiness behind as they become alive, like spicy enchiladas, full of flavor and magnetism, owning their voices. Oh my gosh, it gives me chills. Their desires while being received, supported, and seen, feeling sensual and in rhythm with their bodies, and having open hearts to invite in love, intimacy, and health and wealth. One session with her replaces 1,000 hours of therapy, no fluff. So today is going to be a deep dive as we explore our topic, which is leadership with impact, leveraging intuition and body awareness for effective decision making. Woo! Is that fire or what? Welcome, Kendra. So great to see you. Miss Kendra, she owns Boom Tag Media. If you are looking to up-level your social media game, please get in touch with Kendra. Kendra, please share it. She does incredible things on LinkedIn. I love her Instagram also. If you're really looking to up-level your Instagram game, please get in touch with her. And then mi amiga, mi corazón, Margaret Martinez. Welcome, welcome. And Margaret Martinez is really our Go Brunch ambassador. That's another social media platform that is incredible. Please reach out to her. And that's something that you can absolutely leverage. Listen, we have got to be on social media these days. So without further ado, I want to introduce our incredible guest speaker, Miss Oksana. Take it away, my love.
Leah, thank you so much. And really, really pleased to have everyone here with us. Hope you're going to get some good information, useful information for yourself. Yeah, Leah, you seem to be on fire. You're like a real spicy enchilada today, which I'm very happy to see. Nothing joys me more than seeing very bright, happy.
Well, you know, I never thought of myself as a spicy enchilada, but when I read that, I said, you know what? I'm embracing my inner spicy enchilada. And
yes,
I'm just really excited. Absolutely. So, Oksana, I love this topic today. I love our conversations that we have because we've known each other a little while. We've been trying to have this collaboration. That's why I know today is going to be incredible because it has been trying to resist it, but I knew this was going to happen. You know, I love talking about intuition, and women are known for having their intuition, but sometimes I think we as women, we kind of discount it and we kind of don't open ourselves up to it. So I love that we're going to talk about listening to our intuition. So You just started us off. I don't even know where you want to start, but that's something that really resonates with me because I know as I listen more to my intuition, and what I mean by that is really getting quiet, meditating, taking walks on the beach, sitting in silence, which is for me challenging because I'm a active, have lots of stimulation all the time. So doing that, I do hear more of that intuition. So just kind of start us off there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful intro. So the way I see women is that there is two types of women. The first one is who are very, very sensitive and they have a lot of emotions going on in their bodies all the time. And the second type of woman who suppress a lot of emotions and they're very, very logical. Both of them lead to the burnout because one is just suppressing them so much that you stop listening to yourself. So the disconnect from the body happens in both cases anyhow. So I was the one who was very sensitive, and mostly the people who come to me are also the sensitive type of woman. And when we're very the thing about intuition is that it's allowing the information that comes to you to trust it and to act upon it and to speak your mind or to speak your like clear thoughts in a way that you are not afraid to say it because there is a judgment, you go against the grain, people will not like you, reject you, and so on and so forth. But from my experience, what really helped me is first you need to work on your body in terms of traumas, and you need to start debunking your conditioning that is sitting in your body so that you start seeing things clearer. And the second part is that you need to connect to God. For some people it's a religious aspect, for some people it's something else, but when you connect to God, you create the most authentic version of you that knows that no matter what choice I'm going to make, it's going to be the best for me, even if I don't see it in the moment, right? So, for example, now I've been teaching women a lot about intuition, trusting themselves, standing the ground, and also becoming softer and gentler so that they get to experience their most utmost love life and also wealth and money and so on in the most flowing way, right? So maybe I can start with actually talking about some examples because I find that examples are the best way how to talk about intuition. Yeah.
Yes, please do. I want to
Okay.
welcome a few of our
So,
guests, a few more of our guests. Miss Noni
okay,
Veroni,
good.
Marani, I hope I'm saying her name right, but she has this quote that I love. She says, "You know what? We got to flip the script and do a cartwheel." I love that because sometimes when we flip the script, we don't celebrate it. So flipping that script and doing a cartwheel to
Mhm.
me is when we are in alignment with our intuition, right? Because sometimes we feel apologetic about
Yes.
listening to that inner voice. So every time I think about that, it
Yes.
just makes me so excited and so happy. And then we have Miss Tara. I call her Miss Christmas from the Hello LLC. Listen, if you're ready to upgrade your dusty, crusty website and business card, you've got to get in touch with them. They have done all of this for me. My intro, my outro, like they've taken my little show and made it into a production. And I'm so honored to be working with them. They're incredible. I promise you, you will be so delighted. You'll call her Miss Christmas too. So let's start there.
Amazing. Yeah. So the biggest difference of how you know it's intuition or how you know it's just an impulse that you want to act upon, like every thought that comes to your mind, it's very simple how to discern that. First, intuition always comes in silence and in peace, and it's something that you are not really expecting. And I'm going to give an example, very easy example. For example, if you're a woman who is dissatisfied with your body, every time you go to work, you're like, oh my God, this clothes don't fit me. I look fat, or I look this and that. And then you go to the shops and you start picking the food based on your context, which means that I'm fat. Therefore, I have to eat something healthier so I can lose weight and feel better. So this is an impulse thought. I have a problem and I'm a problem and I need to fix it. But intuition works in a way that there is no context behind it. There is no history in a sense of immediate history behind it. For example, For example, you could be, yeah, okay, you don't like your body right now. There is some, things that you want to change. But then you suddenly meet on the street somebody who tells you, oh, look, I just signed up for this thing. Would you want to come and join me? And you feel this. You're like, no, I don't feel very well going there because I'm not there yet or whatever. Like your inner voice start telling you the darkest thoughts, but you act upon this thing because you know it's coming towards you to literally give you what you wanted in the first place. So intuition never has a context, a very clear context behind it. It comes in a sudden moment and in a very peaceful moment, and you need to trust it that this thing is going to lead you further to what makes you feel good in the long term.
I love that. So, I would say intuition, I can replace it with Holy Spirit, right? Divine downloads.
Yes.
And I can
Yeah.
totally resonate with what you're saying because I do have those, as we all do, right? We all get those little nudges. And sometimes it's something that we don't want to do. Listen, I started
Yes.
this show from a divine download. I did not want to be on camera. I definitely didn't want to be on live camera. But you know what? I felt a nudge that I had to do it. I felt led to do it. And so I got outside of my comfort zone. And in the beginning, it was pretty cool. Nobody watched it. So I thought, this is really amazing. I love this. I'm doing videos and nobody's seen it. And so that's how I was able to take
Yes.
that action. So if we're feeling that guidance, right, we're feeling that intuition, is it something that we should act quickly or should we kind of put some things in place? Like, what should we do? How should we respond when we have this intuition, this guidance system coming to us?
Well, the thing is that it's going to keep at you all the time. So, really, what you need to work on is the resistance. And in a woman, it's usually control and a fear to lose the control. Because when you are so used to having, being that alpha woman in your work and taking care of all the things, you don't know the other part of you that's actually very natural to you, that feels like I can trust it. And I'm not actually losing anything, I'm regaining my divinity. I'm regaining my something that is even better for me. So this resistance that sits between you and the actual thing that you need to do is what we are needing to work on. And I give you an example. I worked with many very successful women, and most of them have this fear of insecurity, despite the level of income, despite the level of recognition in the work, is that I'm still not doing good enough, or people don't value me, and they don't hear me. They don't invite me to this board of meetings where my opinion is heard. So when I work with women and I work through the body, somatically, and through this divinity, what happens with them is that suddenly they drop their defenses and they allow more space for intuition to flow through, which means better and brighter ideas, more recognition coming towards you, more acknowledgement coming towards you, more money coming towards you by working 30% less. So they feel it in the body that there is something different about them, of how they are. Instead of being reactive, they're more in allowance state of being, right? So that's what intuition does to you. But this resistance that sits in you is like a devil work. For example, when you go to work and you have a problem in work, or maybe you messed up something, what usually we do, we bring it home. We bring it to other areas of our lives. With children, we are not present. Maybe some opens bottle wine. You say, I deserve it because I had a bad day. So you're going onto the path of self-destruction. And there you don't even hear about what's good thing for you, right? So it's about discerning and becoming aware that, is that really the good thing for me? And am I fighting somebody, or I'm fighting my own resistance that I just don't want to feel happy anymore? It's easier to feel in suffering mode rather than to allow happiness in fully. Does that make sense?
What I'm hearing, this is how I'm hearing this, is that, and I experience this a lot of times trying to work with somebody with their finances. I call it putting on the gas and the brake. On one instance, they say, yes, I want better. Yes, I want to have more money. Yes, I want to pay off my debt. Yes, I want to build a legacy. but then they delay our appointment, right? They want to clean the house
Yes.
before the housekeeper comes. I'm like, what are you doing? No, I got to see all this mess. And so when we're willing to act in spite of our fear, in spite of it, I think that's where the magic happens. I would love for you to
Yes.
talk more about what we feel in our body. So this
Yes.
might get really, really deep, but I will tell
Yeah.
you this. Um, I have seen people with very, very similar illnesses. This is going to go deep, you guys. This is the gloves off. You
Yeah.
know me,
Let's
the
do
gloves
it.
off conversation. I have seen people because selling life insurance and health insurance, I have to ask all their health, right? And I've seen people with very
Mm-hmm.
similar illnesses have very, very similar financial decisions. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So talk more about what we wish when we know when we're in alignment, what can we feel in our body? And when we know that we're out of alignment, what kinds of things do we feel of that?
Yes, that's a very, very good point. I worked with a lot of women who with chronic pains, illnesses, unexplained pains like jaw pains. And now I'm organizing a couple of evenings in Estonia for women. And literally, when I walk in, I was like, whose eye is twitching? And one woman is like, mine. I'm like, you have anger issues. Like, you need to express your anger in a way that your eye starts to twitch from it. So I can sense this information straight away when I walk into the room, like even to fungus of a toe, like to very specific things through because I allow information to come to me and trust it. So I'm not afraid that somebody will judge me. Oh my God, you're not supposed to say those things. I trust that those women are ready to hear information that's going to help them long term. I'm not going to pat on the backs and say, you're fine. No, I'm there to help you. So this is also part of intuition that you just know things without you knowing why you know them, and you're not afraid to speak up. And a lot of women that I worked with, like for example, one was going visually blind. Like she had a condition that every year she needed thicker glasses, thicker glass, thicker glasses. And when she came to me, I spotted immediately by just not even talking to her. I just knew that she's grieving and she doesn't want to see herself in this life and she doesn't want to live anymore. And when I told her, you're grieving somebody, she told me, yeah, my husband died 7 years ago. So when we allowed those emotions to be processed through the body, what happened is that she went to the oncologist, I think, or I'm not really familiar with those names. And the doctor said, oh my God, your vision has stopped dropping worse. You actually are starting getting better. And the same thing, what happens is eczema and the skin rashes, acne is a big sign that you are not seeing yourself and you are not speaking your mind and you want to hide. And the more you hide from the world is the more you hide from the money, abundance, happiness, and so on and so forth.
Wow. You know, I studied Joe Dispenza, and he says the body keeps the score. And I've seen it, and I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a doctor, but I talk to a lot of
Yes.
people about their health and their wealth. And I see people who
Yeah.
harbor things as we start, because I say begin with the end in mind. So I like to start with their living trust. What assets do they want to leave? What's this legacy they want to build and the generational wealth? And then we reverse engineer it.
Yeah.
And so it's really incredible when we
Hmm.
start to have those conversations, what things come out, things that they are
Yes.
still kind of beating themselves up about, financial decisions that they felt that didn't go
Yes.
right. And you can see people really kind of harboring that in. So if that's somebody in the audience or somebody that's watching the replay, what are some things, maybe what's the first step that they should do to start releasing those? What are some steps that they can take?
Yeah. For example, even this aware, like taking this time that you're experiencing emotions and what we are used to do as women, we use, as you say, we beat ourselves up. There's something wrong with me. I shouldn't be angry, or I shouldn't be this. I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't be that. And it's the first step is to, for me, what works the best is to bring the awareness through your hands, even on your body. Where do you feel that? Where do you feel this anger? Because most of the women who are beating themselves up, they have a lot of suppressed anger. It usually comes up in the jaws. You're clenching your teeth. You can see how your body is contracting when you get angry. You're like, "Arr." And I used to be a very angry kid, and I still work through my anger all the time. And also headaches, migraines, big sign that you are just holding on to this control and you don't want to pop it open, right? So the first thing is that you become aware that it's okay to have those emotions, and place your hand in there. And here is the big thing. I don't teach people to immediately kind of release or get rid of this or talk to yourself. Rather, allow your body to experience it. Emotions are not bad. They're not bad. In fact, if you didn't have emotions, you couldn't be a feminine woman at all. You would be a very wounded masculine woman that will always attract wealth through huge struggles and men who are, well, not really the men that you want to have in your life, right? So the first thing is that you need to connect to God. Second, you need to place your awareness onto the body part that's hurting you. And third, you need to learn to relax into it. Because the moment you relax, you give it attention without judgment, and it starts to dissolve by itself. It's, of course, a technique that you need to learn with your body to operate. But once you learn it, it becomes easier and easier for you to move through those difficult moments and acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with me, and I'm just experiencing emotions and my body can handle it. And not by getting rid of it or fixing it or talking to my inner child, by simply witnessing it. Yeah.
Gosh, that's so good. So I want to ask a question.
So sweet.
This is a personal question, because, I do a lot of stretching. I train martial arts,
Mm.
and and I find that
Martial
the
arts.
more, yes, I love it. And I see people who become inflexible in their body, and that it seems like, I don't know, but it seems like to me they become very inflexible in their life. They become very stuck in their ways,
Mhm.
become very
Yeah.
unteachable. Like this is the way I've always done it. So I wondered, is there a connection there to keeping fluidity and flexibility within our body and maintaining that flexibility and fluidity in our mindset?
Yes, 100%, Leon. You're very right. And by the way, martial arts, respect to you. I love martial arts so much. But what I want to say about the body flexibility, the more feminine you become, the more you are flexible in your body. Why? Because you are not cramped. The more cramped you are, the more of physical pain you will experience in your body, because you're cramping your muscles, emotions, and everything gets trapped, right? You are controlling your body. So the more you stretch, the more you, even dancing and doing circular movements instead of like rigid movements, the more you allow the natural flow of femininity to move through you. And the more you're in trust of it, that you don't need to make rigid movements to prove who you are. Yeah, like, say your say, you can be very strong woman when it comes to, protecting your children, protecting yourself outside when you're in danger, or protecting from injustice. But at home, you can allow this fluidity of yourself to just simply dance. It doesn't have to be like 45 minutes every day of physical exercise. It's more about how you move. Yeah. You agree with that, right? Yeah. Yeah.
So good. That is so, so good. So I want to ask you another question. Again, listen, I'm taking notes here. This is, if you have questions, put in the chat. So here's another thing I want you to kind of touch on. You said this in the beginning, and I would like to circle back to it. You said that, we can be sensitive women, and I think sometimes we get a lot of shame for being sensitive. Oh, you're just being over dramatic. And for me, I'm a very sensitive person from this way. I realize I feel things deeper than probably a lot of people do. And I realized that when I was in a book club and there had been a fire, and a firefighter we knew had fallen through the roof and had died. Okay, it was somebody we knew, and we were at this book club and we were talking about it, and then it came on the TV and we watched it, and then everybody was sad, and then they all went off and did the book club, and I was still there, like in that grieving moment, like I wasn't ready to just like let it go. And so I realized that I need more time to process things. So let's talk about being a sensitive woman so that we don't feel shame
Mm,
or judgment for ourselves for being sensitive.
yeah. And it does. The more higher level of sensitivity you have, the more you probably need time to process it in order to come into this awareness that I'm safe, I'm okay, right? I'm ready to open myself up again, and it does require time, right? But there is a difference between which I'm still learning. I'm definitely not perfect, between a sensitive woman and a woman who is sensitive and blaming, right? So, for example, you can be very sensitive and you can be very vulnerable, which is a very beautiful thing for a woman to acknowledge herself, to share her feelings without blame. It's when we start blaming because or justifying things, that's when it becomes ugly, and that's where it becomes very not very desired, because we are dumping our accountability towards the other people to now save me, or I'm entitled to this, right, or whatever. But when we communicate, which as I said, like I still need time with that, when especially when it's a very strong trigger moment. The more we learn to feel safe in our body, safety in God, the more we know that all is okay and nobody's rushing you and nobody's wanting anything from you. So take your time, and you can just say like, I'll come up later when I'm ready. Yeah, but it's a
Yeah,
journey, definitely. Yeah, it's a very
giving
big
ourselves
journey for,
giving
yeah,
ourselves that gift
exactly.
of that time. I love that. We have a few more
Yeah,
people
yeah.
who joined us. I want to shout them out. Mr. Ty
Hello,
Allen
hello.
Jackson. He has an incredible book series. Danny Dollar. He loves to teach wealth to our children, and he's a
Oh,
reading advocate.
nice.
Please follow him on Instagram. He's here on LinkedIn also, but he has an incredible Instagram. Ty, please put your handle in the comments here. And Miss Adrian, she's just a supportive cast member. I'm not even sure what Adrian does, but I see her everywhere. I see her on Singer Heart Outs on Friday. I see her on all the events. And then my good friend, Miss Carolyn Smith. Thank you for joining us. I think today will be a very, very critical conversation for all of us. And then, of course, we have our menopause mentor, Miss Lisa Pavek. She's a dietitian. She talks about all things
Mhm.
health. And I had to ask her forgiveness the other day because I had to confess that I love KFC. Sometimes I do venture into the KFC. And then we've got Mr. Mike Drop Jones. He says, amazing share. Fear equals focus, energy arranged to react. Woo! He's always got a mic drop. Mr. Mike Drop, David Jones from the Hello LLC. So we're going to take a brief intermission. We're going to come back to some great comments that you made here. We have a word from our sponsor here.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.
Don't you love that? I want to talk about Let's talk about debunking some myths about intuition. What are some misconceptions, common myths that people have about intuition?
Yeah. Um, that intuition is only this gut feeling. Actually, it's for many people, it's knowing, it's sensing something. It comes in so many different ways. It's not only the gut feeling that you have. It could be very, very different from every person. Like, for example, even for me, when I look at the person, I just know this person works in IT, and I have no idea why and how. I just know that this person works in IT, and then it happens that, yeah, this person works in IT. So this intuitive based information has helped me a lot to recruit the right people for the right company. So this intuition comes in your, like, how you perceive this information. You need to listen to it, how you work, what is it for you. It's not only, you will receive visions or whatever. You need to understand yourself the most, right? So also, I don't believe that intuition comes in through meditation by hours and hours of meditating. In fact, I tried it, but ADHD brain, to sit in hours and hours of meditation, it's like, oh God, that's enough, right? So for me, intuition came when I started dealing with my emotions, and I experienced normal life experiences that led me to stay present with my emotions the most, because then you access this deeper part of you that feel safe. Because when your inner spine, what I call inner spine, the like inner core is strong, you can experience a lot of emotions, but you still hear the truth in that. Yeah. Intuition is not only a feminine trait. There is a plenty of very masculine, godly men in my eyes, especially my beloved, who are very intuitive based, and they trust themselves based on these decisions. And it's not based on greed or what I'm going to get out of it, or selfishness. It's based on what's the best thing to do in this circumstance and situation for the long term. So I really admire men when they do that as well, and when they have this trait about them. So it's not only what else? Yeah, many people, I think, say that, oh, I saw 1111, or those angel numbers, or there's, I see those 999 all the time. But for me, these are just where your focus lies. So you keep seeing the same numbers because your focus is there. So for me, intuition is a bit different from those angel numbers and everything. I don't really believe in them anymore. It's because we want to see them, so we see them, right? But what I believe is intuition is that you have the courage to act upon what you heard, and you close your eyes to it. The moment you hear something that you need to do and you close your eyes, you're lying to yourself, right? Because what's going to start happening afterwards is self beating yourself up, is wishing that you did better, is this path to self-destruction. So it's that courage to know that I've heard enough of science and I need to act upon it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is going to get deep. I love it. We've got some incredible
Yeah.
comments, and I'd love to highlight a few of these comments here. Miss Tara
Sure.
Bush said that intuition is energy.
Yes,
Would you
I
agree
agree
with
with
that?
that.
Okay. And then our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers is here. She has just released her Audible of her book, Errata. Listen, I am so excited. I cannot wait. I've got an Audible. I need to go ahead and download that. She teaches us about Think and Grow Rich, and a lot of that has to do with our intuition. She does a study that's free, you guys,
Yes.
free on Fridays at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is my gym time. I try to listen in, but sometimes I have to watch the replay. She says intuition is conscious awareness. Gut is not intuition. Do you agree with that, Oksana?
You keep breaking up. You said intuition is conscious awareness.
Yes. And she says gut is
Did you?
not
Yeah.
intuition.
Yeah. For example, for me, God is guiding me, and God is something that's telling me that, like, or speaking to me, or I'm connecting to God for making the best decisions based on not what my human self likes or dislikes, but what's the right thing for me long term. And one part of it, for me, it is God. So, but intuition is very different things for everyone. It's how you perceive. There is. I used to be. I used to advertise myself up psychic. I mean, to seeing like past lives and everything. Now I don't believe in it. For me, it's very simple. There is God, and there is information that comes to you in knowing that it's the best for you, even if you don't see it like that at the moment. It's the next step. It's pretty much from moment to moment the guidance of devotion. So, but
Wow.
I do not say that it's wrong or right. I feel like every person needs to find their own truth and their own path.
That's good. I love it. think we have a question here. How can leaders effectively tap into their intuition and body wisdom when managing remote or hybrid teams where physical cues may be less apparent? That's a great question by Sandar. Sandar, I apologize if I'm butchering your name. That's an incredible question.
Yes. So again, intuition has nothing to do with we're not reliant on the tangibles only, right? So the fact that you don't see your teams, as in close by, and you don't observe them, and you don't see everything, it's allowing the space again for innovative solutions to come forth. I was speaking before, when you spot a problem with the teams, you're probably talking about. That there are some problems maybe in the team that you would like to improve, right? So instead of trying to figure out this problem of how you can solve it, and getting more into problems because you have obstacles, you don't see the team, you don't have control over the team or whatever else, I would ask simple: God, guide me on this. What's the best solution for this team, for whatever you want to have as an outcome? And listen, right? Take your time to listen to it,
Yeah, doing
and
effective
you will
listening.
receive a ping. Yes, effective listening. One part of the intuition that I teach women and myself is listening. We listen, but we don't listen. And we receive information that needs to be done, either through people. Maybe it's a book that somebody handed over. You're like, oh, it's not the time. I don't want to read it. It's not my priority. It's like, read it. Because in that book, there is information that you need to maybe help to manage the team. But it's not directly correlated, because that's what our human mind wants to do. Well, if it's not bringing me closer to my solution that I want, because I don't see the path to ABCD, I'm not going to take it, right? But in fact, intuition speaks to you through all the ways, right? So, and the biggest problem with us, not problem, but the biggest concern or obstacle that we create ourselves is that we limit ourselves. That, for example, in order for me to run this team successfully, I need to do XYZ. Instead of, in order for me to run this team successfully, I need to expand my vision and let go of what's in front of me right now, and listen to the wider life, what's happening outside of this problem.
Yes,
I'm being
I
a bit
love
aggressive
it.
here, but talking, maybe, I don't know.
No, I love it. I love it. I want to make sure that we hit all the areas that you wanted us to discuss. So that's why I'm going through this, because I think these
Yes.
are really profound connections that we can all make, or
Yes.
even just start to explore the conversation, right? So another thing you
Yeah.
said is that we're going to learn from here is how to connect with your intuition through body awareness. Now, for me, I kind of touched on that. Stretching is really critical for me. It's a really vital part of my day. Like, it's something I have to do during the day, or I will just
Yeah.
my I will feel my mind even just get really clouded. Like I can't think. I don't
Yeah.
digest my food well. Like it impacts me in a lot of ways. So, what are some other things that we
Yeah.
can do to connect ourselves through body awareness?
Yeah. That's very beautiful, beautiful question. For example, again, it's really dependent on what works for every person. You need to find that thing that you really feel connected to yourself. For me, it's, for example, nature, a must, but not nature walking around with your phone and then answering things, but to really become aware and conscious of how your steps feel, right? And really connecting to the environment. But also fasting. I'm doing Ramadan. It has helped me hugely to connect, especially in the times when, like at the moment in my life, I'm doing a very big change, and I don't know where it's leading, but I shouldn't be knowing where it's leading. I need to know what's my next step and to trust it. So Ramadan is helping me to spiritually connect, but also to find this bigger purpose and to listen, right? Because if you're like me, who is coming from OCD, ADHD background, my head is like literally running like 70,000 miles an hour, right? And Ramadan, so not eating, not drinking water for like 12 hours helps me to clear this head and allow more good information into my head. So I start listening to what's my next step, right? What else? Working with me, of course, will help you to raise up your intuition very high. People have reported that many times that they trust the path, they do very bold moves that they thought they would never do, but that feels so truthful to them. Be surrounded by people who are not publicly pleased and who do not seek publicity in order to be liked, but by people who have such a strong values and principles in them that you are admiring them because you know that that part of them wants to be in you too. So you will naturally start picking upon this how they do it energetically, which then transforms into your tangible world, that you start trusting. It's almost giving you permission that yes, I can trust myself too in that. So these are just few things that you can do.
Those, that's so good. That is so far. We have a question here, but it's kind of long, so I
Right.
want to give you the whole backstory on this. And this is from Joe Hargrave. Thank you for joining us, Joe. It's great to see you. She's going to be an upcoming guest here. She said, instead of looking for divine direction, I focus on building strong relationships and tapping into everyone's strengths. Leadership then is about lifting others up, creating a shared vision, working together to reach goals. Oksana, how do you think your leadership style fits into this idea?
I love this question, John. A really good question. And the way I want to answer it is, without divinity, I wouldn't be able to connect to the person and see the best part of them and see their potential. Without divinity, without this intuitive part of me, my vision is very limited. I'm only seeing what's in front of me instead of what could be when I trust this person. My trust in a person starts getting bigger and bigger. And for example, when I meet a person, I immediately see their potential. And because I see the potential, this energy in me is so strong, this person starts believing in themselves. And usually what happens to these people, their dreams start to manifest so much faster because they sense that somebody's believing in me and they're seeing in me something that I'm doubting about myself. So that's where I'm really good at spotting people's potential. And just by talking and transmitting the energy, the life flips around very fast. And that's why I love being in a people roles, because I use my intuition the most when I'm interacting with people. But also, I have people around me who I don't see potential much, and that's okay too. So, and you don't need to, be this constantly talking people to get something, to be liked or anything. I haven't done this part in my life a lot. So I focus where I can be the most of help and where I'm received the most as well. So my energy is not leaking constantly, rather it's channeled, it's focused, and it's providing this two-way of interaction.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. I can attest to that. The first conversation we had, like I was immediately attracted to you. Like
Mhm.
I have to know this woman. I got to be around this woman. I got to know what she's up to. Like your energy is so infectious, but it's not in a like outwardly way. It's really in a like a very, very gentle spirit way. And and I don't know what you saw or didn't see in me, but I know that I really felt your power through such grace, such femininity. And I love that because I think for me, that's something I really need to step into, right? Because I am always doing all this, uh, a lot of my colleagues are male. I'm like one of the few women speakers on, a lot of events. And so, and then martial arts is male dominated. So I'm in a lot of male space. So sometimes I probably need to just embrace more of my feminine side. But I absolutely love everything you said. I mean, I think you bring so much awareness about us being feminine and not being apologetic about that. We can be women and still be strong. We can be women and be intuitive and still be power women. It doesn't mean that we forego that or let that go. So you did have one more point that
Yeah,
you wanted us to.
Lyra, you have a lot of femininity about you, and there is a lot of juice, a lot of things about you. So
Am I a spicy
that's what I love
enchilada?
seeing. Yes, you are
Hey,
a
give me a
spicy
one in the
enchilada. I'm
chat for
so
all of our
positive.
spicy enchilada women. We've got Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers. She's definitely a spicy enchilada. Joe Hargrave, definitely a
Yes.
spicy enchilada. Miss Tara Bush, Miss Margaret Martinez, you're all spicy enchiladas. If I didn't name you, it doesn't mean that you're not a spicy enchilada. You definitely are. If you're here, it's because you're a spicy enchilada woman. So, how about the role of intuition in the decision-making process?
Yes. So, for example, when there is a very important decision to make, I would never suggest to make it under the pressure. As I said, when it's about trusting that this decision will come to you, and also let me just collect my thought. I lost my train thought for a moment. It's more about the dilemma that we have behind it. Well, if I'm going to make the wrong decision, there is going to be consequence of punishment, or self-destruction, or you're not going to be rejected. You're going to be like, what's the consequence? So when we make this decision, we need to take ownership of this consequence, right, of whatever this decision is going to lead. And the more you're able to hear yourself in what's the best long term, the more you're willing to take the consequences of your decision, no matter what. Even if people will reject you, they will tell you you're the worst employee, they will deny you from further projects or whatever. You stand your ground, because you know what? In that space, this won't matter to you. What will matter to you that you did the right thing. And that's where your values, your principles, and your connection with self comes the strongest, right? Where you're tested the most. So, in order to cultivate that concrete space within yourself where you are able to make this decision and allow it to come to you instead,
Mhm.
you need to take moments. As I said, like there's so many things that you can do. Like, don't bring your problems into all the other areas of your life. Learn how to relax into it and trust that the decision is going to come. And 100%, it will come. It will come. The only time when we want to procrastinate on the decision is when we're thinking about that we need to make a decision. Yeah.
That's so
It's
good.
not. Yes, because that's how we put the pressure. The moment we relax, the decision comes to you. Because hello, I'm already here, but you didn't see me because you keep saying like I need to make a decision. You keep pressurizing yourself, but I'm right here. So learning this technique to relax into a stress, into anxiety, into anger, into all of this is allowing space in your body for this decision to come in. And then, as I said, you take ownership. And ownership means you face the good and bad. And yes, you might lose the job. Yes, you might do that, but you will do the right thing long term.
Yeah. And I want to just circle back to what you alluded to earlier is taking those walks without technology. That has been something I really have had to teach
Yes.
myself because I have my phone with me everywhere, but I intentionally I'm blessed. Okay, I know. I live very close to the beach. So I can leave the phone
I
and take those walks, go barefoot, and I really force myself to be out there for at least an hour. Right.
yeah.
Because in the beginning, I'm always like thinking, oh, who's calling me? Maybe there's an email I need to get to. Right. So it took me a
Yes.
while to really learn how to leave the phone and be okay with that and understand it will be there when I come back. Take that walk and just allow to whatever, not listening to something. I'm not listening, I love the 2 for 1. And when I'm in the gym, I'm doing a lot of 2 for 1 and different things. But when I take these intentional walks with nature, barefoot, and just allow whatever is there or not there to come and process that. So
Yes.
this has gone by so quickly. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Very
What
quickly.
can we expect to see from Oksana in 2025? What's on the horizon for you?
There's so many things on horizon that I know will are happening, but I think it is the biggest year where I'm landing into who I am deep inside of me, into my femininity, into what kind of family I want, what kind of man is next to me, God bless him, and allowing myself to hear without thinking it's not what's going to be approved, it's not what's going to be to be liked. It's going against, many family traditions from a childhood, many societal traditions. I took on Islam last year, and I know that many people have so many bad perceptions of it. So I'm really choosing myself, and I'm choosing myself in my business. I'm redefining everything in my business, in my life, in the way I want to live, and I'm only promising myself to only listen to myself. There is always this two parts of us, the true self and the masked one, right? So in 2025, this mask is going to go to minimum. It's enough and it's done. And God bless this protective Oksana that used to fight for things. I don't need it anymore. And I've landed into the space where I feel safe.
That's beautiful.
So I
You know,
cannot
a
tell
lot.
you concrete things, what's going to happen.
I love it.
Sorry?
I love it. And if you're not following her, please follow Oksana because you're going to learn a lot. She has a lot of beautiful posts, a lot of beautiful things to say. And I love that you really step into your feminine energy, but you're a strong power woman along the way also. Well, this has gone by really, really quickly. I know you've got a lot of love here in the comments. People are going to reach out to you. What is the
Thank you
best
so
way?
much, everyone. Yeah, sorry, you were breaking up. For some reason, the video goes on and off.
Yeah. So what's the best way for people to reach you?
Yeah, so I'm available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I don't really use Instagram, and I put a bit of pause on my Facebook as well. So LinkedIn is perfect. Facebook, LinkedIn, email. I can drop it also below. And also, please feel free to download my PDF about intuition. I will drop the link. It's free. You can read it. You can agree and disagree. Maybe it opens something for you. Maybe it doesn't. All good. I don't like to put people under the pressure that you need to take on my beliefs or my values. You do your own thing, and people usually receive so much more when we're not pressurized, right? So you do your own thing and trust that it's what you need. Yeah.
That is brilliant. I say take the good, leave the bad. Take the things, those golden
Yes.
nuggets that speak to you, and maybe they're golden nuggets that you will pick up later. Maybe they're not golden nuggets that are for you. And I think
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing about having these conversations, right? We're opening up that dialogue so that we can open up for the possibilities of our intuition, how our body can really guide us, how we can tap into that intuition and that inner guidance spirit, whatever that means to you, whether you call it God or Buddha, whatever it is for you, it's there in you. And I
Yes.
just absolutely love this conversation. I'm so glad that we were able to finally connect and do this.
Me too,
So
Leah.
that's going to end it for us. But listen, if you are feeling the intuition of reaching out to Miss Oksana, if you're a woman and you want to tap into that intuition, you're ready to rise up and thrive in 2025, please reach out to her. And listen, if you're here, it's because you are the one in your family. You're the one that is supposed to change your family's last name forever. I know it's a big responsibility, but you know what? I believe anybody who listens to my events, who is connected to me, they are the one. And that responsibility is we got to step into our wealth power, right? We got to use all of our faculties to be able to receive the wealth that we're supposed to receive. Because as we receive more,
Yes.
guess what? We can give more. If we're giving out of lack, that's attracting more lack in my mind. But when we're giving out of abundance, we can receive more abundance. I'm very, very blessed. People give a lot of things to me that I never even asked for. But I know it's because I'm giving out of abundance and I don't attach anything to it. I do this show to bring value. I do this show to highlight people that I believe you should know, that I believe can assist you, that are doing incredible things to our community. And that's what I believe that we can all do, right? We can all uplift another person. It doesn't cost us anything to really edify and believe in another person. So this was beautiful. I loved it. I loved it. Thank you so much. And so with
Thank you,
that,
Leah. You're
we
incredible.
will see you all as you rise up and thrive in 2025. And I'm going to let my
Woohoo!
AI take us out.
Hey there, I'm Leah Garcia. Have you ever wanted a career where you truly make a difference in people's lives? I'm building a team of driven financial and insurance professionals, people who want to help families and businesses protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth with confidence. If you're passionate about guiding others to achieve financial security, then you're exactly who I'm looking for. Join my supportive, growth-oriented environment and unlock your full potential. Ready to take the next step? Visit leahgarcia.io and let's start building your future together.
Thank you, everyone. Rise up and thrive in 2025 and make it the best year of your life.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.